All right, let's begin with lesson 2 on Final Cut Pro training. I'm going to start off by opening up Final Cut Pro. And we have our old project here open. The first thing I'm going to go over today is just the editing view in FCP. I want to make sure you understand that and how to change it. And we'll also go over more about back into working with the viewer, loading clips, in and outs, fast forwarding, rewinding, and some other helpful keys. The first thing I want you to know is about how to set your view in Final Cut Pro. This is where I have my view set up right now. It's for one screen editing. We already went over, but I have my bin here, my viewer here, my source monitor here that reflects my timeline down here. If you log on and perhaps your screen looks like this, you might be confused. Maybe your screen looks like this. You're even more confused. To get back to your original way that I am training you, which is the standard editing view, we can go Window, Arrange, Standard. And now we're back to our standard look. This is the one screen look. If you're working on a dual screen, which at my work, and if you're using this training video from my work in Philadelphia, you're going to want to usually be on the Window, Arrange, dual screen editing view. And that'll look like this. You can't see the right monitor, but that'll have your bins and your effects in it. And your left monitor, which is the one you're going to be working out of, should have your preview up in here, your source monitor over here, and your timeline down here. But for this training, let's come back to the single monitor view, and that's this arrange. We go Window, Arrange, Standard. All right, now that we're back, let's key back into working in the viewer, and I want to show you some helpful tips and get you around in the viewer. So we can take your time and load a clip into a bin. Either use the bin we worked on in the previous project, or you can open up a new bin and pull some footage in. When you have that footage in, load the footage into the viewer just by double-clicking the icon next to which one you want to use. I'll actually use the ghost ship sign, so I'll double-click on this. And you'll see there's already an in here set and an out here set. I want to clear those ins and outs, and I do that by hitting Option X. That clears both the ins and outs. If I want to undo something, I hit Command Z. So I'll hit Command Z and undo that removal of the in and outs, and the in and outs are back. If I just want to remove an in point, I can hit Option I. If I just want to remove an out point, I can hit Option O. If I would like now to put both those back in, undo what I had just done, remember I can hit Command Z. To bring the out point back, I'll go back one more step, Command Z. Let's again, for practice, remove both in point and out point together, Option X. And here we are left with this yellow line right here, line and a little yellow tab on the top of it. That is our indicator. I showed you this in the previous lesson, but I want to show you again. I can click anywhere, and where that line is where we are in our video. So I can click through here. I don't have to come up and grab it. I can just click anywhere. And once I click somewhere, I can actually left click and hold, and I can drag and scan through my footage. But there's certainly other ways to scan through our footage that I find helpful. Remember, to play and to stop is the space bar. I can play, hit the space bar again, and it stops. Let's say I want to go in reverse. I can hit the J key once, and it goes in reverse. If I hit the J key a second time, it goes faster. 3 times, it goes even faster. A 4th time, even faster. Now, if I want to fast forward, I can hit the L key once to start playing regularly. Then I can hit the L key a second time, it goes faster. 3rd time, 4th time, it goes even faster. Okay, so I have my indicator. And as I'm moving this indicator, you can see the time code is moving up here. Watch as the time code as I pull through 56 to 15, 16, 17, 18. So, if I use my keypad and I hit the left arrow, I can go by frame. 561328, 561327, 561326. If I hit the right arrow, 561327, 561328, 561329. I just want to show you that so you know how you can move around by frames. It's important to realize the time code reads like this. The first two sets of numbers are the hour. The second two sets of numbers are the minutes. The second set of numbers are the seconds. And the last set of numbers right here, the 29, are the frames. So, how to move around your preview window and your timeline quicker, but we're going to stick within the preview window. I'm going to set an in back here in the front of the video. You see once I set my in, remember that's with the I key. And then I'm going to drag ahead. I'm going to come near the end of the footage. I'm going to press an O for out. That's how I set my out point. And you can see, if I want to get right back on that in point, it's a little tough. It's a little tough just to hit it perfectly. Now I missed it. Missed it there. So I want to show you a couple ways to get back to that in point a little bit quicker. If I come to the middle and I have my cursor here and I want to get right back on that in point, I can hit the up arrow. And there, see how it pops back? And I also know I'm on my in point because it gives me this little sign right here. Now let me pull back into the middle. Let me say I wanted to get to this out point. I wanted to go to the right of the indicator. I can hit the down arrow. And there it is. It came right to that point, and you can see here's the sign for the out points, and let us know that the cursor, the indicator, is right on the out point. So now we're going to move out of the preview window, and I just want to refresh our memories. Let's move out. Let's delete the in and the out that we set in this preview window. So again, remember, Option X, and it removes both of them. Let's do an undo, Command Z, and we can hit Option I just to remove the in point. Let's just remove the out point by hitting Option O. And if you haven't noticed yet, I'm a big fan of the keystrokes and using the keystrokes to make my editing a little bit quicker. Once you learn all these keystrokes, you're going to really appreciate them more. I want to come down to the timeline now, and I want to show you. We have these cuts that come along, and I want to show you how the up and down arrow, how we learn those can help us in our editing. As I'm here and I scroll through, and on the timeline you have a little yellow indicator right here too. Remember again, I don't have to click and grab right on it. I can click here, it'll jump. Click with my left mouse down here, it'll jump. And when I click, I can click and hold the left mouse, and now I can drag along my timeline. Well, let's say I want to get right to this cut right here. Well, I could do this by using my up and down arrows. I want to go to the right, so I'm going to use my down arrow. So if I hit my down arrow, it goes right to the cut. Do you see that? It went right to the cut. Let's say I want to go to the cut, to the next cut, right to the right, between these two shots. I'll hit my down arrow again, and there I am, right on the cut. Now, once again, let's try this. Let's go back, and I want to get back onto this cut. We're not going to hit the down arrow because that's going to go to the right. We're going to hit the up arrow, and that's going to take us to the left. Up arrow one more time. Where do you think it's going to take us? That's right. It's going to take us all the way to the beginning of the timeline. And that also brings up another important point. Say I'm here, or maybe I'm even near the end of my timeline, and I want to get all the way back to the beginning. I could hit the home key. If I hit that key, and look, it brought my cursor all the way back to the very first frame, and you can see we're all zeroed out here. But let's also say I want to get all the way to the end of my timeline to put my next shot down. Instead of dragging and pulling, which is also very okay, I could leave my indicator up front, and I could hit the end key, the END key, right underneath the home key, and it'll take me all the way to the end. Now that's an important feature because let's go back to the preview window, and I'm scrolling around, and let's just say, it's really easy, I can pull ahead, I just want to show you this though, that I can be up in the preview window. If I hit home, look, my cursor goes back all the way to the beginning. If I hit end, look there, my cursor goes all the way to the end. So these are some helpful tips that'll help you move around your preview window and your timeline a little bit easier. And the more you grasp these keystrokes I'm giving you, the better you're going to understand Final Cut Pro and editing. This is TV Production Guy, signing off.